Hey everybody, Eric Schreiber here, coming to you from beautiful, hot and sunny Phoenix, Arizona. I've been traveling for the last 3 weeks straight, competing, presenting, so I am burnt out and I'm a day late. I apologize. In discussing this week's assignment and motor abilities, I'm an Olympic weightlifter, so I'm going to choose an Olympic weightlifting movement, specifically the snatch, because I'm much more proficient in that movement than I am the clean and jerk. And if we're talking about Fleishmans Taxonomy, we're talking about perceptual motor abilities and physical abilities. And I think that there's a few things that make me sort of innately good in the snatch. One of them being is that from a very young age, I have always been extremely explosive. I can accelerate very, very fast, and I can jump high still at 42 years old, 5'7". I can still touch the rim. So I'm very explosive. And that allows me to take the bar from ground to overhead very quickly. So I have a high level of absolute strength, and I have a high level of rate of force production. I also have fairly good dynamic balance, dynamic stability, multi-limb coordination, which allows me to do everything in a dynamic manner from the ground to overhead. The change and shift in my body position, keeping the arms overhead. I'm also fairly mobile, believe it or not, in that overhead position. Interestingly enough, I'm not as mobile here in the front rack position. I think that has a little bit to do with thoracic spine extension, or maybe even some dorsiflexion, or my inability to properly dorsiflex. So I'm still working on those things. So explosive strength, maximal force output, dynamic balance, and multi-limb coordination all make me relatively good in the snatch. In fact, every time I compete, I'll win a gold in the snatch and then like a bronze in the clean and jerk, or I won't even place, but I'll get on the podium because I snatch so much relative to my clean and jerk. I also think that that's something, or something that lends me to being good at this particular movement is I am very, very, very deliberate with my training. I am extremely competitive. So when I am training, I'm having fun, but I'm also not having fun at the same time, because I want things to be perfect. And I've been this way since, in terms of performance and athletics, since I was a child, 5 years old. T-ball, baseball, basketball, football, doesn't matter. I loved being good, so I practiced with intention, and I practiced to win. I come from an area where there was not any participation trophies, and I'm not saying anything that's bad, but I hate to lose, and I train to win. That might sound bad, but I train to win in everything I do, and whether that's academically or that's on the field, on the court, on the platform, doesn't matter. I train with intention and purpose, and I think that also helps me be successful. Additionally, I try to use a lot of tools to help me train as well. So I take videos, I have a velocity tracker, I do a VBP, and I have a one-on-one coach. And I can hear him right now, through the heels, rip the snot out of the bar, and those things that resonate me, vertical, those are all the things that I hear from him all the time. It's really only like 3 or 4 things. I was talking about this last week, in that some coaches you'll hear tall chest, this, that, boom, blah, blah, and there's so much input that the athlete just can't handle it. And all I hear is receive it tall, through the heels, rip the snot out of it. Rip the snot out of it. We also do a lot of variation in terms of our movement patterns. We do blocks, hangs, tall snatches, tall jerks, things like that to groove the pattern. I talked about this last week again. I like to use variation a lot, and previously I used it to break up monotony and groove pattern. Now I see and understand that it has much more to do with motor learning and motor behavior on a larger spectrum. And I'm getting better at the movements because I'm doing them for longer, right? I'm only like 2.5 years into my Olympic lifting journey, so I plan to get better, even if I'm going to get weaker. I'm still going to train for rate of force production and things like that. So I think that skill acquisition isn't just one thing. It's not your physical abilities. It's not. There's so many different things that go. It's the coaching. It's your mindset. It is your innate physical abilities. It's how you approach your task. All of those things come together in one to make you either more proficient or less proficient, depending on how you approach it. So thanks. I'll see you guys later.